Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from June 27th till July 3rd, and I apologize in advance if you can hear my cat. She is spazzing. She's playing with a bouncy ball and meowing for no reason because she has her food. So, yeah. Anyway, this is my final spread for the month of June, and I was pretty excited to move on to a new month. However, I'm still pretty behind. I finished filming all of my spreads for July and I got really excited thinking I was only 2 months behind. But I completely forgot about the entire month of August. I thought I was on to fall spreads, but no. Can't forget August. I'm still 3 months behind, but that's okay. For whatever reason, last week I really didn't want to film. I didn't want to do voiceovers and I didn't even want to do the bare minimum and like post the videos that I had ready to go. I just was in a funk and that definitely set me back, but that's again, okay, it's fine. There's no rush. I just have like this personal goal of catching up before the end of this year. I was really hoping to be caught up by fall, but that didn't happen obviously. But anyway, this week I'm using this kit from Caress Press. I believe it's called Spaced Out Summer. It's very different for a summer kit, which is why I ended up picking it up. I can't say it's like my favorite, but I do appreciate a different theme, and I do like the color scheme. It's very like Shrek and Fiona, or Rapunzel. I'm not sure, but it's pretty. This week was pretty stressful for me coming back from Austin and like getting no sleep last week. Also, so last week was my first week traveling in like over 6 years. And it was a nightmare if you've seen that plan with me. And then also my first week back, I believe, let me see. Yeah, it was my first week nannying not at my place. So I had to add a very long commute to my hours, and it's already a 9-hour day. So it definitely caught up with me by this week, and I was just very stressed and on edge and like didn't want anything to do with anyone. And that's a big reason why currently in time I'm really trying to avoid getting back into nannying, because even though it is a great job, I'm very angry and like don't want to talk to people in my real life. Like I just don't have, I'm an introvert. After playing and smiling at a baby and toddler all day, I don't have the energy for adults. So yeah, it's just not a healthy career for me. But I mean, the way the job market is right now, I might be nannying again. We'll see. But anyway, I'm just gonna get right into the day by day, starting with Monday. The first thing I marked with a flag. Oh my God, she's such. Sorry. My cat's trying to jump on the dresser and she needs to talk when she does it. But anyway, so first thing on Monday, I used a flag and this sad munchkin from Once More With Love to mark that I was just feeling really depressed and I just wanted to stay in bed for no reason. I took Monday off this day. I just knew that I wouldn't be up to nannying, and I told them like ahead of time that I was going to need this day off. But I almost should have just gone and made the money because I was sad all day. With a little thing and this angry munchkin, I marked that I got home and one of the bath mats was gray. We have white bath mats and I'm usually the one to wash them, but I asked my roommate to do it and she accidentally left one of them in when she put her laundry in, like her darks. So I had to bleach it. And again, it's not even a big deal and it bleached beautifully. Like it's totally fixed and it's fine. But in the moment, it was like the end of the world to me, because I'm insane and I was sad. With a work label and this working emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co., I marked that I worked. With a little thing and this YouTube laptop from Scribble Prints Co., I marked that I did a big YouTube binge. With a squared off label and this vacuum from Planting Roses, I marked that I vacuumed. With a little thing and this little puzzle munchkin, I marked that I did a puzzle. Then with a little thing and this Harry Potter book from the Coffee Monsters Co., I marked that I read. And then the final thing on Monday, I marked with a fancy label and a clock from the kit. I was up until 3 a.m. and now my cat's in my lap purring. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on to Tuesday. With a work sticker and a car icon from the kit. I marked that my tire was low, so I definitely had to fill it before I left. I'm scarred for life. I drove once with low tire pressure and my tire blew out, and it was not salvageable. Like, you couldn't plug it. I had to get a new tire, so I risk being late to fill my tires now. With a square box and these babies playing with blocks, I marked that I nannied. Then with a label, and this is actually an Alien laptop from a different kit, but I thought it worked so well with this kit that I used it to mark working my other job as well. With a fancy label and this Munchkin reading, I marked that I read. Then with a squared off box and this Stick with a Plan Co. donut sticker, I marked that one of my bosses brought me a donut back. She's a doctor and she has I don't know, she works in a lab doing research, and one of the people under her brought in donuts and she stole one for me, and I thought that was really nice with a fancy label. And so this emoji is a happy driving emoji, but I really just wanted angry driving emojis because 99% of the time I'm angry if I'm driving, and I'm trying to salvage the rest of the sheet with all of the happy ones. So my answer to that was to draw a little angry face on one of the happy ones and use it. So anyway, now it's an angry emoji. I marked that there was tons of traffic and absolutely no parking. Last Plan With Me, I mentioned that my bosses kept coming home late, and they felt bad, so they asked me if I could change from working 8:30 to 5:30 to working 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., which of course I said it was no problem, but I was cringing inside because I knew the traffic was going to be worse and the parking was going to be non-existent. But it's fair because they just couldn't get home in time for me to leave by 5:30. With a squared off box and this Fox and Pip girl jumping rope, I marked that I did a workout. With a little thing and this Munchkin making the bed, I marked that I washed my sheets. Then with a fancy label and this fold sticker from the GP studio, I marked that I folded all of my laundry because I did a dark load as well. I just didn't have room to mark that separately. With a little thing and this emoji on a bike, I marked that I watched the Netflix movie Along for the Ride in bed, and I actually enjoyed it. As a millennial, I haven't really been loving not all, but most of the Gen Z romance movies. They're just not my flavor. And this one I actually enjoyed. And I had read the book years and years ago. I found this website. I don't know if it still exists, but who's the author? Is it Sarah Dessen? I can't remember. Whoever wrote Along for the Ride, all of her books were on this website for free in PDF form, and I binged them all. I read them all, and I stayed up all night reading them. And yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, the movie lived up to the book, at least as far as I can remember. It has been 8 years since I read it, but yeah, so I read that in bed, and that was exactly what I needed, just an easy movie. So moving on to Wednesday now. First thing with a quarter box and this drooling happy Munchkin, I marked that I got to go in late this day. I don't remember why. I think the baby had a doctor's appointment. With a little thing and this glass of water, I marked that I spilled my water. I had this cheapo water bottle that I was using, and it just opened up and spilled everywhere. Then with a little thing and this gas pump left over from a kit. The name is, maybe it's Apple. I'm not sure. Anyway, you know better than I do, but I just used it to mark that I got gas on my way to work, which is very gutsy, but I would rather do it than get gas coming home for sure, because I'm already not going to get parking. And the gas stations near them actually take credit cards, and I don't have to go inside and ask for, pump whatever. I hate doing that, but all of the pumps in Philly are broken. Anyway, under that with an appointment label and this Munchkin holding a baby, I marked that I nannied. With a little thing and this zombie emoji, I marked that I did my other job, and I used a zombie because, again, I was exhausted. Usually during nap time, I would chill out or, read my book or something, or even shut my eyes and just listen to the baby monitor. But, yeah, it was catching up to me. With a flat lay from, I want to say, oh my gosh, Papershire. And what is this? I think it's like a weekly habit tracker. I marked that I planned. And then the final thing on Wednesday with a little thing and this reading emoji, I marked that I read. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked with a little thing and this emoji happily driving along. I marked that I started a new audiobook on my way to work with a squared off box, and again, the baby's playing with blocks. I marked that I nannied with a squared off box and a munchkin crying. I marked that it took me an hour to get home this day. Keep in mind, my commute there is about like 22 minutes, but the traffic is so bad that, yeah, it took me an hour. With a little thing and a paw print from the kit, I marked that I did the litter. With a flag and another zombie emoji, I marked that I had work to do when I got home. And the final thing with a squared off box and this Snape munchkin that I got on a freebie, I still thought it just like worked. I marked that I watched The Devil Wears Prada in bed because, again, I just needed like a really good comfort movie to chill me out, and that was perfect. Again, I keep apologizing, but sorry if you can hear me wiping hair off of my planner. My cat finally left, and she left me with a bunch of gifts. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked with a half box and more babies was, again, that I nannied and did my other job as well. With a squared off box and this pumpkin paper Kotera in a rush, I marked that I had to rush to Joe's because I was going to be late. We had to leave for a friend's birthday dinner. With a half box and these balloons from Scribble Prints Co. I love these balloons. I would love it if she came out with them again. I want these balloons so badly, but whatever, these matched this kit, so I used them. I marked that it was our friend Laura's 30th birthday dinner. I think we actually missed the real birthday dinner. This was just the family birthday dinner, but there was also a surprise one, but I think we were in Austin. Anyway, so we went to that. It was at like an Irish pub style place with a fancy label and these Olive Studio friends just hanging out. I marked that after the dinner, we stayed really late outside the restaurant. They had like a bunch of seating, and we just all hung out and talked. And then the final thing with a little thing and this so tired emoji, I marked that I was just absolutely dead after this week and last week, to be honest. Like I needed more than just Monday to recuperate. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with a little thing and a tired emoji was that I was feeling exhausted. With a squared off box and this cracked under pressure sticker, I marked that I was really stressed from the past week and I really, really wanted to stay home, but I knew I would have actually, no. In hindsight, I'm not sure I would have regretted it. But in the moment, I was like, no, don't be a loser. Just go. So I went with Joe to see his family. They were all in town for the holiday weekend. So I didn't want to not see them, but I didn't want to spend all day sitting, wasting time around the pool. But that is what we did. So with a half box and this pumpkin paper Kotera and a little outfit, I marked that we sat around the pool all day at his parents' hotel. It's really good for the kids, but I'm pretty sure this time his brother brought like an acoustic guitar and they were all singing, which is probably like the innermost circle of hell for me. I cannot stand an acoustic sing-along, especially for hours, but that's what we did. I'm being a bitch, I know, but it's really not my thing, and I'm really worried that he's going to bring his acoustic guitar to Thanksgiving this year, and I really want to go and see Joe's family, but I can't do any more acoustic. Anyway, moving on. With a fancy label and a slice of pizza from Olive Studio, I marked that we all got Domino's, and the Domino's in King of Prussia is really good. They never mess up. It's so good. With a fancy label and this overstuffed munchkin, I marked that they wanted to go get Italian food, and I was so pissed because if I had known, I wouldn't have eaten so much pizza because I love Italian food and I never get it. But I just ordered a salad because I couldn't eat anymore. And then finally, with a flag and this tired munchkin sleeping on a pillow, I marked that I passed out. Finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked with a quarter box and this zombie emoji was that I was in yet again another bad mood. I really wish I could kick that, but God, I am always in a bad mood. with a half box and this really cute sticker that my friend Ilza from Ilza's Melted Plans gave me. I marked that Joe's basement flooded, which is not a happy thing, but I had to use her because her color scheme matched this kit too perfectly not to use. So even though she's like excited about the puddles, I was not. And it was like a foot of water in some places. Not a foot, like half a foot of water. It was terrible. Things were floating away. With a fancy label and this emoji carrying cookies, I marked that we had to stop at Acme to get chocolate chip cookies and veggie patties because Joe's brother-in-law is a vegetarian and we were doing like a premature 4th of July cookout. With a squared off box and this barbecuing emoji, I marked that we had the cookout. And under that, with a fancy label and this happy munchkin with a little kid munchkin, I marked that we played cornhole and just, played with the kids. As far as my sidebar goes, the two things I decided to mark, the first one was using another one of these cracked under pressure munchkins and a half box. I just marked that all I wanted to do was chill out. Like I really didn't want to do anything, and I don't know. I mean, I think I'm glad I went and hung out with everybody in hindsight, but in the moment, like all I wanted to do was go home and like do a puzzle alone. And then the other thing I marked using a Planning Roses scale was that I only did one workout this week. I just couldn't do it. There was no way. This is when I took a break from like sticking with the workout program I was doing. I just could not do it. But anyway, thank you for listening to me complain yet again. Sorry about all the cat noises. And yeah, I appreciate you if you stayed all the way to the end. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.